afternoon, good evening, good night, whenever you're watching this. I hope you're having a beautiful day, and if not, I hope it gets better from here. So I'm going to jump right on in. We're going to get into our channeled messages. I have errands to run soon, so this will be a bit shorter than usual, but no problem. First and foremost, channeled songs for today are Missilia Amori by Ghost, as well as Pray For It by One True God. So it'll be interesting. Synchronicities include 3030, 711, 123, 1331, 1515, 111, 321, 0404, 222, 1616, 345, 1234, 666, 311, 1919, 234, 611, 2121, 2442, 616, as well as a general feeling of fatigue, like ongoing fatigue. Gold is relevant, the moths are relevant, honey is relevant, as well as bees, and you could have had left ear ringing. So those are all the songs and synchronicities I have for this specific collective today. Let's jump right on in and see what's happening. Roll some dice and figure out what house this will be in. We have the second house for wealth and possessions here. So this is a reading about wealth and possessions. And what sign will it be in, please? Eighth. So let's see. Scorpio. Interesting. Scorpio in the house of wealth and possessions, money through the taboo, through the occult, from the unexpected. Ooh, theatrical pursuits as well. Very interesting. Let's get into runes. Hi, hello, welcome. Let's get into runes. I have my herbal runes here. Let's see. Get more details on this. Let's see. Just one. Okay, we have just one today for Hawthorn. Okay, Hawthorn is all about boundaries, I believe. Fertility, creative potency, healing, protection, boundaries. Yeah, so boundary setting. Boundary setting around our finances and wealth. Balance between worlds, life and death with Scorpio. Ooh, very interesting. I like that. That's cool. Okay, so let's get into the Elder Futhark runes. Thank you for the likes, I appreciate it. So, Futhark runes, let's get in. We've got Scorpio already. This already looks fascinating. Let's see. 3, okay. We have, ooh, weird. I love this. Welcome in. Weird, the unknown, fate. We have Algis, more protection. Protection's heavy. And then we also have, who is this? Thyrisaz for defense, protection, unknown protection of fate around Scorpio in the second house. That's fascinating. Oh, I'm excited already. Okay. This is already gearing up to be a very strange reading. Let's get into charms. Hi, R. Get into charms. Tell me more about this very fascinating reading. We have some self-love healing showing up, right, with the rose quartz charm right here. We have the diamond, right? And instead of being like the diamond in the rough, this I think of as more of like luxury, you know, like actual money, stuff like that. So like material wealth showing up here. The banishing of negativity, especially in our creative pursuits. Hi, ours best friend. Orange, the sacral chakra, so like creativity center. Yes, I feel. So there's protection coming up, banishing of negative energies around our creativity, especially with negative spiral thinking here, around dreams, around thoughts of that nature. We have the ancestors here as well. So this typically represents, you know, whatever deity you believe in, angels, ancestors, your higher self, whatever you believe in, that's what it represents. Unknown forces. Aggro. This is a, if you're a gamer nerd, you know what this is. It's an aggro charm for tanks. So what that means is you're drawing people's ire, people's anger, you know? It's like people are attacking you for no reason. You know what I mean? We have here Music. So some of you could be in the music industry, or you just really like music, or you could be getting messages through music. So I love this. This is fascinating already. We have, for those of you who have just joined in, this will be a reading about our wealth and possessions with the second house here in Scorpio. So very strange, occulty already vibes happening. We have as well, we had Hawthorn for protection of boundaries and the boundary between life and death. So like, I'm digging this already. I'm already excited. We have the weird, so the unknown, fate, protection, and defense, right? So very fascinating already. Unknown defense of some sort. So I'm invested. I want to know what's happening. Let me move everybody out of the way and tap into tarot. I want to know what's happening with my collective today. And with the Scorpio vibes too, the two songs I got are two very Scorpionic songs in my personal opinion. Missilia, Amori, as well as Pray For It. One is by Ghost, which is a very taboo band. Oh no, I'm glad you're good. And the other one is Pray For It by One True God. Again, both super, that just digs right into Scorpio. So I'm loving it already. I'm in. Again, this will be a shorter read. I have something to do after this, so I'm gonna try to pay attention and not go over. Let's see what happens. Spirit, what's happening with my collective today in their home of wealth and possessions? Wow, that was quick and in a hurry. There's some kind of victory we're working towards. What is this? We got Cancer in the moon. You could be a Cancer moon, don't have to be. No obstacles will stop me now. So we're working through obstacles around this area of our life. Interesting. So when I see cards like this horizontally, that means we're going back and forth, right? And with the Chariot, you can either drive it like you either drive in harmony, right, where your lighter side or your shadow side are in harmony and go forward, or we go in circles, right? Victory, overcoming obstacles, success, self-discipline, hard work and focus, versus forcefulness, lack of direction, lack of self-control, aggression, being blocked by obstacles, right? Very interesting already. And this is a big, like, this is a pretty big deal, because the major arcana cards don't cover a random Tuesday, they cover big life choices. Very interesting. Tell me more about what's going on with the collective at this time, Spirit. And just so we're all aware, right, there is a Mercury retrograde coming up tomorrow, if you're watching this in real time, in Pisces. So please be careful when it comes to technology. Be careful when it comes to signing contracts, making travel plans. Double check everything. If you can't postpone it or reschedule it, just double check everything. Make sure all your stuff is good to go. Like, instead of double checking, I would triple check. And make sure you reread that text before you hit send, right? Especially if it comes to creativity, realms of daydreaming, you know, those types of things. Yes. Yeah, a victory over the 10 of Cups in reversed. A victory over an unhappy home, dysfunctional family, broken home, lack of stability or security. So we're working on this victory right now. We're trying to turn things around, but we're currently here. It's not quite ready yet. If you had a question about love specifically, right? Marriage or love, your answer is no, okay? So, very, very interesting. A victory over this feeling lack of stability and security. Interesting. Tell me more about what's happening with my collective regarding the house of wealth and possessions, please. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Yes, going towards our abundance. Queen of Pentacles. Virgo. If you had a question surrounding starting a new project, especially in the realm of money, the answer is yes. Okay? Fertility, prosperity, sensuality, responsibility. Yeah, because we're here. We're in this Queen of Pentacles era. We're trying to get here, rather, right? You see how it's upside down currently? Thank you, Man Ray. We're working towards this, towards our little pentacle. Interesting. I don't do personal reads. This is how I do things, right? When I do this, I usually pull out these little yes, no, maybe cards. And as I do the big collective overarching read, you just keep in mind your question, and whatever I pull out, it'll have yes, no, or maybe, okay? That's for the very first part of the reading. That's your answer. If you want something more in depth, or for me to actively do that personal read for you, the link for that is in my bio. Please feel free to check that out. But I don't like putting people's personal business on the internet. That's just not for me. Let's see. We have two cards here. One's in the King of Wands, sideways. Leadership. So we have a little journey here of victory over this feeling of stability, security, having our finances in order, and maybe we feel like we need to prove ourselves. Someone who inspires others. Yeah, an adventurous person who takes charge and initiates many projects versus someone whose main focus is self-promotion. So it's like trying to gain a victory over this. It could be before we were doing this based off of trying to prove ourselves, but now we're trying to do it based off of genuinely wanting to bring something of service, of something inspiring to others. Now, what is this one? Oh, the Six of Cups in reversed. Yeah, I get ya. Letting go of the past, focusing on the future, maturity, growing up, leaving home. This kind of gives the vibes of I don't want to be part of the family business. I want to do my own thing. Now we have the Scorpio here again. Sun in Scorpio. So if you had a question about getting back together with someone, right, or returning to your hometown, something of that nature, the answer is no. Okay? It's a no. Interesting. Especially if the person you're asking about is a fire sign. So if their top 3 has fire in it, Aries, Leo, Sag, the answer is no. Hi Stormborn, I see you. So tell me more about what's going on with the collective at this time, Spirit. A few more, because I do have something I gotta do. The Ace of Cups. So this is like new creative ideas as well. Interesting. Yeah, there's that Pisces and Scorpio and Cancer again. So again, we have that Pisces Mercury retrograde coming up tomorrow. So thank you, Man Ray. New ideas, heart opening, celebrations. Yeah, it's like I want to step away from this. Again, it could be I don't want to work in this family job. I want to do something different. I want to I want to do something else. I want to do something else here. Like I know I was made for different. With that crown chakra showing up. And the Wheel of Fortune reversed. So if you're asking about like new beginnings in the realm of love, friendship, feelings, that type of thing, the answer is maybe skewing towards yes. Right? So just double check. Like make sure it actually attunes with your heart. Make sure you actually feel good in that person's presence, or that whatever you're pursuing is not solely for financial gain, okay? But anywho, we have new creative ideas. We're trying to do something completely different because we've been feeling like it's been like maybe we've had bad luck starting new ventures. So it feels like we're not supposed to go that way, but it could just be that we're going at it a little bit. Like I said before, it could have been we were going at it with just the idea of gaining more money. Yeah, more burdens, more opinions. Yeah, like standing on the hill, standing up for ourselves against people who maybe it was a field that's a bit more competitive. Maybe our family or friends or whomever is around us had something to say about it. Maybe we just didn't have the time for it at that particular time, right? Lots of fire energy. So yeah, it's like creative inspiration, but it wasn't the right time when we first started because we didn't really have, our heart was in it for the wrong reasons. Tell me more. We'll do a couple more and then move on. Oh goodness. Thank you. the Two of Swords. Yeah, some of that decision. It's like a choice. A choice needs to be made, but we're not sure which way to go. Libra. Ooh, Libras always have buyer's remorse. Facing your fears. Avoidance. Mental conflict. The swords often represent thoughts and words. So again, this could have put you in mental conflict. Again, that would be, maybe I'm not supposed to go down this path because I keep running into obstacles. Maybe I'm not supposed to be doing that. And Spirit's saying, no, you just need to change why you're doing it, you know? Yeah. Three of Cups. Friendship. Yeah, if you had a question about celebrations, friendships, that type of thing, your answer is yes, especially if there's someone who's a Cancer. Or you're a Cancer, whatever it is. Doesn't have to be. But make sure, right? Because we had that maybe before. So maybe skewing towards yes, just make sure you're paying attention, right? Make sure you're paying attention. Make sure they clap for you and actually mean it, okay? Celebration, collaboration, happy times. Yeah, I want to know what this choice is, because it's like we're trying to get there. We're trying to make a choice that would be something we could celebrate, but I want to know what the choice is. What are the two options that they're like tussling with here? One more. What is the other option, Spirit? Yeah, I'm feeling some interference in my throat. Again, we have the Mercury retrograde, but that does mean that it may be hard to talk about. So we have the Lover's card. Okay, so choices. The Lover's card is not always about love, right? Especially since this reading is not about love. My personal value system leads me to love. I gotta cover them. Their bits and bobs are out, but we got Gemini and Mercury. So again, this back and forth. The Lovers can also represent choices. So it can represent our intuitive side versus our ambitious, more materially focused side. So again, like looking towards our intuition, looking towards spirit, feeling that creative inspiration, wanting to go towards it, create something new, versus looking at everything around us and being more in tune with the world in front of us, right? Major choices. So it's like, that's funny that choices is met with choices, but it's like the other choice is leaving behind disappointment. Moving forward, moving on, accepting help. There's that Virgo again. No, that's Scorpio. So Scorpio again. Yeah, these choices. Shared values stands out. Heart versus expression. And then right after that, it's like something we want to celebrate. So it's like facing our fears of making these choices, moving forward. And I get this accepting help keeps coming up. So this might require some help from somewhere, and you may be someone who absolutely hates asking for help. Yeah, you might be someone who hates asking for help. Well, that's not very good. You have to be able to receive help. You can't just do it all yourself. Then you'll burn out, you know? We have sideways here, and that is the Page of Wands comparison. Upright, it's inspiration. Right? Enthusiasm, inspiration, being inspired by people. In the reverse, it's comparison. So that's kind of an issue we've gone through many times and still go through. We may compare ourselves to friends, family members, people who are in our niche, you know, co-workers, that type of thing. And it may make it difficult for us to go after what we want. Tell me more. Thank you. Another one, Queen of Cups. Yeah, that can lead to overgiving as well. This can lead to some overgiving. So that upright, a choice based on sincere feelings and imagination. Okay, versus, yeah, fickleness and sacrificing unnecessarily, like sacrificing yourself unnecessarily for others. Yeah, that comparison. Like, why am I working so hard and it's not working out for me, but they're over there, they barely do anything and they make all this money, or they get the success or whatever it is, right? Why do I have to, like, again, it's like, why do I have to join this family business I don't even want to join when I could be doing something else, when my heart's not in it? Is that really what I want to do? Ooh, confessions. These are my confessions. Turning over a new leaf, conscious kicking in. So again, that opening of the throat chakra, telling people, look, listen, I don't want to do this. This is not for me. There's that moon in Aquarius. Ooh, I know at least one person here this resonates with. Aquarius, moon in Aquarius. The Aquarius is keeping things quiet. Not necessarily for bad reasons, right? It's like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I don't want to let anybody down and say I don't want to do it because I don't want them to think that I, like, think that their dream, their business is bad. It's just not for me. I don't want to do it. Last one, and then I'll move on to the next part because I have a little bit of time today. One more on what is going on with the collective regarding their house of wealth and possessions in Scorpio. Yeah, this would be like just opening up and telling people, I don't want to do it. Yeah, resilience and holding up boundaries. Ooh, that's hard. And there's that Sagittarius too. Fatigue, yeah. Perseverance, backbone. Yeah, like really, there's that sacral chakra again. When I see the Five of Swords, the win at all cost strategy, defeat, conflict, confrontation, yeah. Interesting, disagreement. So it's like, yeah, I don't want to do it. And having the courage to actually say it. There's that Aquarius again. Let me relax. I know that oh man, there's somebody very specific I have in mind for this reading. I know exactly who is in this collective. There's somebody that I have in my mind. Yes. Like seriously, there's this big, like, I want to let go of this disappointment. I don't want to feel disappointed anymore by wanting to choose what I want. But I'm having a hard time speaking up. I'm having a hard time speaking up because I've tried this before. Maybe I've tried to do something else and it didn't quite work. So now I'm afraid to try something new. Yes. Let me pop into why you need to hear this at this time. And Marigold wants to talk. Thank you for the likes. I appreciate it. And I see that 8, the number 8 here, which represents the Strength card. And thank you for the follow. The Strength card. So battling our inner lion, our inner parasite. Like, this will be the time where if you try to have a discussion, it may not land well. Not like it'll start a fight or anything, but wherever Pisces is in your chart, it would affect that region. But overarching wise, right, it's meant to just make sure you go inside, you do a bit more internal introspection, get clear on what you're actually, like, what your dreams actually are, what your passions are, and just to be extra careful about how you word things. If you cannot schedule that discussion or travel or contract for a different time, pay close attention. You may also feel more daydreamy. You may be more prone to naps, escapism, this type of thing. Just be aware. No need to panic, just be aware of it. Alright, tell me why the collective needs to hear this at this time, Spirit. Why do they need to hear this? Yeah, because we're still going through the karmic checkpoint and going back and forth between lovers versus devils. So being in balance between our creative side and our logical side versus heavy self-sabotage. We have the Nine of Cups. You're going towards your happiness, right? We're going towards our happiness. Yeah, this entirely revolves around our happiness, our wish, our dreams. And the Nine of Pentacles in reversed, but we don't feel like, that's 2 nines, that's funny. So we're currently not feeling like, you know, we're in our bag, we've got our abundance, we're surrounded by those things. That's cool, 9-9. Tell me more on why they need to hear this at this time, Spirit. Queen of Wands. So even though you don't feel like it, you're still in your manifestation power. This is you, right? We're trying to be we're trying to be optimistic. We're trying to bring this in, right? Full of passion, full of ideas, full of drive. We may be a bit fatigued, yes, but we're really trying. Yeah, there's that Queen of Swords. And we're standing on some business. We're getting pretty clear about it. I love this card. Like, I really do. This specific deck, this specific card really embodies what the Queen of Swords is about. Cutting things off. This isn't working. That isn't working. I don't like this. This isn't showing up. Yeah, we're in that energy. That's 2 queens on deck here. Oh, a Queen of Wands and a Queen of Swords. So an Aquarius and a Sagittarius comes straight to mind, right? The Queen of Swords is Aquarius, but can also be air signs versus fire signs. So there could also be, you know, your energy versus a mother figure or an older feminine. Does not have to be, but they're in this energy of like, well, these are the cold hard facts. Yeah, but so they're only the cold hard facts right now. What if it worked out, you know? So it could be that too, because it looks like they're having a discussion, doesn't it? Looks like they're talking to each other. This person full of ideas, passion, and fire versus someone who's very, very, very logical. And is like, that's not gonna work, that's not gonna work, that's not gonna work. And they're like hacking up their little sunflowers. Kind of that vibe going on too here. So either this is you battling your passions versus your logic. Oh, yeah, but this is safer, this is more stable, this is like, this makes more sense versus, yeah, but this makes me happy. This lights my fire. So it could be either this or a discussion between 2 people, right? So that may be why we need to hear this at this time, because even though we're going after our wishes and going after our dreams, it feels like there's a struggle. And the sideways comes out with the Queen of Cups. That's another queen. Okay. We go back and forth, right? 1 minute, we are fully invested, creating, right? Creating new things, creating new ideas. Going forward, really stepping into, like, the Queen of Cups is such a sweet, empathetic, kind soul who's just, they're just here to create. They're here to take glorious baths. They're here to just enjoy themselves. They rule the realm of emotion, right? In the reverse, though, they're very overgiving. They can be very fickle. They can like follow their heart, but have no commitment. You know, so we're in between here since it was sideways, going back and forth, back and forth. Am I actually following my passions? Am I following my heart's desire? Or is this just another case of shiny key syndrome, right? Interesting. It's cool that 3 queens came out though. Tell me more on why they need to hear this at this time, Spirit. Ooh, we did a whole bunch of flips. There's the Page of Pentacles. Did you want to be up or down? Up. Page of Pentacles, new ideas. Getting past this Queen of Cups gets you into new ideas, especially in the realm of the material, health, wealth, and home. All things material, so all things in the 3D, all things you can see in front of you. That's what the rings represents, right? New ideas, new journey, new venture of some sort versus, well, not versus. We have the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, consistency, discipline. The Knight of Pentacles is the slowest knight in the deck, but he always succeeds as long as he remains upright. Every time. Right? Because he shows up every day and does the work. He's disciplined. He's committed. Yes, a new venture that we're willing to work towards. And we're trying to argue it. It feels like yeah, it's like I have to prove that it's worthy of me doing, which is silly because no, you don't. I just saw the strength card pop up. That's funny. Yeah. I have to prove that what I want is worth pursuing. No, you don't. Page of Cups. Yeah. Going after what I want. That new journey, that new creative venture. It may not make sense. No, it may not look like a stable option. But we want to go for it. That's why we want to go for it. We have this beautiful new idea. And it makes us anxious. It's scary. It's scary. What if it doesn't work? What if I jump for this new thing and it doesn't work, right? You could have people telling you this, and that could be why you need to hear this at this time. Tell me more. And it's like, I'm going for it, but I'm not seeing the results yet. You could have just started and you're not seeing the results yet, and it's making you kind of worry about it. Did I go the right direction? Or do I need to go back? Yeah, we have 2. Yeah. Did I? Oh man, the Fool reverse is like no new beginning, but it can also represent being gullible. So it's like, did I make a mistake? Was I gullible? I'm feeling like a moron, basically. I'm feeling like I didn't do the. Yeah, I'm feeling like I just charged in with reckless abandon and missed the boat. So that's why. Yes. Thank you for the likes. There's that 9 again with the Hermit. Yeah, because we're running into some obstacles and it makes us a little bit scared. Thank you. The 10 of Pentacles, though. This is something that has the potential to be extremely stable. Something you can build a legacy with. It really does. It's something you can leave burdens behind with as well with the 10 of Wands, right? We had the 10 of Wands earlier. Delegating wisely. Leaving burdens behind. Like, it has the potential, 10-10, cycle completion. It has the potential to be extremely stable and to help you leave your worry, like your burdens behind, to finally put down the sticks. And to bring the emotional fulfillment. What the heck? That's 3 10s in a row. A cycle completion over and over again. Wow, okay. So it really does have that potential, but right now we're feeling like we didn't make the right choice. Last one for why they need to hear this at this time, Spirit. 333. That's funny. Wow. Yeah, the Knight of Cups. We don't feel like we're there yet, and it has us in our feelings. It has us in our feelings. And the 7 of Swords. Yeah. I feel like the direction I'm going, I'm not sure if it's the right way to go. Right? Actually confessing to someone, feeling like, oh, I have these doubts and I'm worried about it. Because we're in that choice of moving forward, accepting help, healing around major choices, commitment, our values. Last one. I know I just said last one, but I want one more. Why do you need to hear this at this time? 7 of Swords in reverse, coming clean. Thank you. And the 4 of Wands in reverse. Yeah, I can't do this. Like, I can't do this family business. I need to go where my heart. I know this is worthy. Yeah, I'm tired of self-sabotaging. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of self-sabotaging, getting in my own way. I want to go after this thing. I know it has the potential. I know it can bring me happiness. It can bring me stability. It's a good idea. but I'm running into obstacles, and I feel like I'm having to have this conversation with somebody that feels like they're our biggest obstacle. Could be this Queen of Swords. Interesting. All right, Spirit, which one? Yeah, feeling this one. Let's figure out what you need to do about it. What do we need to do about this? It's like, I can tell you what's going on and why, but what? What should you do about it? What should you even do about it? Fascinating. This could be something that's completely against the grain. It could be, for example, say your entire family is a family of, I don't know, engineers, and you want to go be a painter, right? It would be something completely different. And it would be something that they'd be like, oh, you know, you can't do that. That's not really stable. You know, you would have the family who'd be like, why would you turn away from a perfectly stable, secure way of making money to go pursue this? And now you're stuck. Well, you know, and some of them could be a bit rude about it. I'm not going to tap into that because you don't need to rehear that, right? They could, you know, have more opinions on why it's not worth pursuing, and that would keep you stuck. You're like, well, I don't want to upset anyone or make them feel like I don't love them by doing the thing, right? I don't want them to feel like, you know, their dream will die with, or will unalive with me, right? But at the same time, I have my own dream, and why can't I go after mine like they went after theirs, right? Or, you know, if you're someone whose family didn't necessarily have a family business, this would be like they're telling you should become a doctor or a lawyer or something like that when you grow up, but you don't. You want to do something else. So it's that sort of thing, right? It feels like we really want to go after something else, but there's like this really important conversation that needs to be had, a coming clean of, I don't want to do that, you know? All right, so what do they need to do about it at this time, Spirit? Did I knock on this? I'm gonna knock. What do they need to do about it at this time, Spirit? Please don't spam the chat. I'm not doing personal readings at this time. If you want a personal reading, I offer that at the link in my bio. Thank you. The Two of Cups. The Two of Cups. Thank you, Man Ray. The Two of Cups is all about reciprocity, right? It's all about equal give and take. What does that mean in this realm here? Well, what you want wants you. If you want to go after this dream, you should be just as allowed to go after it as the other person was allowed to go after theirs. So for example, if your family owns that business, there's nothing wrong with you going and doing your own. In fact, they should honestly be happy to see that from everything that you learned from them was how to go start your own thing and believe in yourself and start, like, chase after your dreams, not necessarily continue to perpetuate theirs. Do you get what I'm putting down? Like, wow, instead of just settling and saying, I'm going to be a carpenter like everybody else in the family line, I learned from you how to go after my dreams, and so I'm gonna start my own thing. Right? Like, that's cool. That's a beautiful lesson to learn from somebody, to that entrepreneurial spirit. So it's weird to be upset with them for wanting to, like, learning such a valuable, important lesson. But anyway, like, if it's Two of Cups and not necessarily taking after a family business, you know, in the case of you need to become a doctor, it's like, well, no, I don't. I need to go be myself and be happy. And if you don't like that, then this is not an equal give and take relationship. I don't care who you are, right? If you're not happy seeing me happy, then I need to love you from afar, you know? The Four of Pentacles. Yeah, if you're just gonna keep me stuck in lack, keep me hidden, keep me in here with my little pentacles telling me what I should do, could do, would do, I'm not living my life, I'm living yours. But, you know, if you could do it over again. And that's not fair. That's not fair to me. Yeah, stepping out of that. We need more balance, give and take, friends. If you're the Condor's wife, I would highly recommend reading that fairy tale. If you're like the Condor's wife, that's not an equal give and take. Okay? All right. Yes, and in business ventures too, if the effort you're putting in, if you are not seeing anything, I mean anything at all, right, then it'll be time to jump ship, you know? But like, that's not saying that, you know, if you run into some obstacles, you should leave. But like, if after a year or two, you haven't seen a single anything, interest, followers, a paycheck, a sale, you know, a raise, anything, then yeah, it's time to go. Like if you're in a job that continues to tell you that you're gonna get a promotion, but you never get a promotion, it's time to go. You've been there for a year and a half. You need to go. They're just dangling a carrot, you know? Like, no. Yeah. Tell me more on what they need to do at this time. I know, we don't like to hear that, we don't like to start over, but it's true. You don't stay where they just continue to dangle the carrot. Tell me more on what they need to do at this time, Spirit. Thank you. Six of Wands, sideways. Yeah, if you're not getting the recognition, if you're not seeing the results, if you're not even able to celebrate yourself, no, then you're just stuck. And we don't want to be stuck. We're not here to be stuck. The point of living is not to stay stuck. It's to grow. It's to grow. It's to change. It's to evolve. It's not to stay in one little spot and do the same thing over and over and over again until we go into the ground. That's not why we're here. No. Got 3 cards. What are these? What are these? I just heard say it with your whole chest. That's interesting. Ace of Cups. Yes. Get into... we already had the Ace of Cups. So these ideas, these little creative nudges, you're supposed to be doing something with them. Yeah. I see the Page of Pentacles here and the Empress in the reverse, though. I want to know what that's about. Clarify this, please. Can you clarify the Page of Pentacles and Empress reversed for me? The 8 of Pentacles. Okay. All right. So yeah. Here. Okay, that feels relevant too. This is where we're at. The clarification was working hard, right? The Empress in the reverse and the Page of Pentacles going after something that will be huge. It will be huge. It'll put you in this Empress mode, right? Receiving, being in our divine intuition, our divine creativity, allowing ourselves to receive from others around this new venture that we're avoiding. And the clarification here was that we're not sure if we should work on it. Yeah, because in this fairy tale, she's doing this to save her family, even though it hurts, because those are bramble bushes and those hurt. Finding your why. Yeah, and looking at the harvest to see if it's worth it. Is it worth the work? Yeah, is it worth all the effort? So if it's like you need to take on the family business, but you're putting in the effort and it's frankly not giving what it's supposed to, it's not for you. Yeah, we have these new ideas. So when you get these new ideas, it's okay to go after them and then see if it's giving what it's supposed to give. Interesting. Tell me more on what they need to do about it at this time, Spirit. Did a whole flip. What do you want to be? Up or down? Up or down? So it's sideways, okay. And deciding whether or not to walk away. Yeah, that's 2 8s. Balance, strength. to find your happiness, to get your wish. It's okay to go after those cups, to go after and try those things, and see when you're putting the work towards them if they're giving what they're supposed to, right? Do they put you in your Empress energy? If not, the answer is to walk away. If they do, don't go anywhere. Yes. Yeah, we don't come here to needlessly suffer. We don't come here to work 600 plus hours, never take breaks, never be sick, and then go into the ground. That's not why we're here, even though it seems like everything is trying to make it that way. All right, I'm gonna do 3 more on this, and then I need to move into recap stuff. Tell me more on what they need to do about it, Spirit. Many undercurrents here. I'm seeing the King of Cups. And like, take your time, right? Since this is taking a second. Take your time. You don't gotta rush your decision. You don't gotta rush your clarity. Especially with Mercury retrograde coming up. Just take your time. Welcome back, R. Take your time as you like think through this type of thing, because this is the time when you're supposed to be thinking about it. So starting tomorrow, if you're watching this real time, on the 26th, when we go into the Mercury retrograde in Pisces, this is the time to introspect on our dreams, on the things we daydream about. What else? The Fool, that new beginning, the Little Mermaid. Yes, so we may feel like a moron right now. Like, oh man, this is not working out. This is not what I thought. Did I make the wrong choice? Was I gullible? Was I foolish? No. Yep. Nope. Respect that a journey starts. We're gonna stumble along the way, and that's fine. Just always pay attention. Is the amount of work I'm doing giving back to me? If I've been here for a year and nothing has changed at all, then it's time to go. Period. If they've been telling me I'm gonna get promoted, but I never see that promotion despite working overtime constantly, despite never being able to take a sick day, it's time to go, okay? They're taking advantage of you. If it's the family business, right, and you're working your butt off, but it only ever seems like you're guilt-tripped into stuff, like, get out of there. No, it's not for you. You shouldn't take on a business because you're obligated. You should take it on because you want to run the business. Let's see. The 4 of Swords in reversed. Yes. Especially when we're antsy. Especially when we're antsy. Especially when we feel like we need to do something. That's when we take some stock. That's when we pause and we go, okay, let me look at everything so far. Let's see how it's been going. What have been the good points? What have been the not so good points? Where can I improve, right? Where do I need to delegate something? Where do I need to get rid of something? Do I need to leave? Will that solve the issue? Like, really think on those things. Don't just jump ship because you're having a hard time. Or because someone tells you that's stupid. Like, okay, that's an opinion. Thanks, moving along. Yeah, follow the inspiration as well. Let the inspiration come to you, okay? Don't get so up in your head about, is this working? Am I doing a good job? Am I making the amount that I'm trying to make? Like, so enmeshed with proving ourselves, proving that this was the right journey, that we skip over the fun part, the creation part, the ideas part, the motivation part. So, like, here's the thing. People often wait for inspiration and motivation to get started, but both of those things are fire. They are quick to burn and quick to leave. The consistency helps bring in the motivation. You feel me? Because we start out with the motivation, sure, but we have to continue to show up. And as we continue to show up, our efforts are rewarded, which brings more inspiration, which brings more motivation, because now we're being paid back for all of our efforts, right? That's what we don't stay and continue to wait for the inspiration. No, we build the inspiration. Even if it's difficult, even if sometimes we're going through a brain fog and we can't quite think of how to, you know, I can't think of a new idea. I can't think of a new idea. I can't think of a new video to put out or a new product to put out, or I'm creative block, right? Even if we're having that problem, we just come in and do a little bit at a time. Even if it's not the most perfect work in the world, you'll get there because you'll at least be showing up and putting the effort into it. Last one for what they need to do about it, Spirit. Yeah, even if you've only got 10 minutes, do it. The Knight of Swords. Yeah, witty. Rushing in with words, thoughts, a plan. Not necessarily running in with just fire, but with our thoughts too. So we run in with the plan. Or at least the motivation to learn as we go. Hello, friend. And there's that lovers again. So yeah, having our mind and our heart on the same page. Your personal values aligned. Yes, I love that. Yeah, with the 2 of coins here and the world. Now that's cycle completion. So getting our priorities straight and completing that cycle, keeping the wheel turning. Beautiful. That will bring our luck around. Yeah. Continuing forward with that effort. So even if we run out of motivation, we continue to show up, and that will keep us going. Hey, Lizzie. Hi. Hey, cousin. So, okay. I'm feeling called to get into the Oracle advice cards. Before I do that, though, I always like to do a quick recap because I put a summarized video after the live for people who couldn't make it. So if you'll just bear with me, you don't gotta give me anything, you don't gotta follow, you don't gotta give me any money, nothing. Thank you. All I ask for is a moment of your patience, and then I will move on into the advice. So thank you for your patience. So let me get into the Spirit Oracle cards and see what advice the Oracle cards have in store for you as we go forward. And I will release you to the wilds. So let's see. Thank you for your patience and for, waiting. I have to do that. Otherwise, I don't even know how I would get these lives into a small little video for people on TikTok. Let's see. It is my intention that if you see my face wherever I am on the internet, that your burdens will be lifted, that you will leave feeling lighter, that you will have the clarity you need in order to continue forward on your path. It's my goal to be the campfire that you rest at before you go on and face the final boss. So, Spirit, let's ease their worries, soothe their fears, and give them the clarity that they need in order to proceed forward on their journey. Thank you, Spirit. Closing advice from my collective here regarding their house of wealth and possessions. Thank you. The pig spirit in reverse. Use your mind wisely. Someone here could be 47. Use your mind wisely. Yes. We're currently in that negative spiral think, as I said. Whenever something comes along, we take it as a sign that we are on the wrong way, that we are on the wrong path. No. Oftentimes it's just a call to look at how you're going about it, okay? So for example, if you're doing a business and all you care about is how much followers you have, how much you're making at the end of the month, then you're missing the whole point of why you started in the first place. Then you'll stop doing it for the fun of it, and you'll start doing it for the numbers. You follow me? We'll start chasing after what everybody wants, and we'll get back into that mode of overgiving when all we started it for was because we had a fun idea, a fun dream, and wanted to bring something beautiful into the world. Closing advice from the collective here, please, today. Yeah, again, sometimes it takes time. We're approaching that Mercury retrograde, so things may be a little bit more difficult to express. So just pay attention. Pay attention and make sure that you're double checking before you speak, before you write things out, before you sign anything. Just double check. We have now is the lucky time with the rabbit spirit. So again, like, even though we may feel like it's not lucky, it is. It is. Embrace the in-between with the flamingo here. Yeah, it's a lucky time. We may not think it is, but it is. Because we're starting. We're going after what we want. And even though we can't see it yet, it's still there. Yeah. This is the transition period. So some of you, it could be getting straight into it, right? Jumping right in, starting it, or it could be just having that conversation that allows you the freedom to go after what you want. Do you understand? This is a bit of a transitionary period as you gather up the ability to, like, what are my dreams? How can I communicate this? You know, that's where we're at currently. How can I bring that forth into the world? Yeah, think on your feet with the fox spirit. The fox. Someone here could be 27. Think on your feet. So this is using that big, beautiful brain. All that strategy. Clever, witty, adaptable, to pull forward what you want. So again, even though, like, if you're coming up against obstacles, that doesn't mean it's a stop. That means maybe rethink. Okay, what have I been doing it for? Maybe I should try a different way. Like, I should still be going this way, but maybe I'm going at it from a strange angle and should try again, right? We have be fearless and bold here as well with the badger spirit. So, like, yeah. If someone tells you that your idea is crazy, do it. Obviously, don't hurt yourself. But, like, if they're like, you can't open a business like that, you can't go be a painter instead of a doctor, why? Why not? Go do it. Go do it. Go do it. Woo. Who are you? Sideways. Reclaim your power with another 4. That is 3 4s, by the way. Security and stability. I'm just saying, right? Reclaim your power. Okay, you already know that it's not for you. This is sideways. So we're already aware that whatever it is not for us. We don't want to do it. Now we have to actually make sure we voice that, right? We don't just keep it in here and hide it. We actually bring it out and stand on it, okay? Yes. With that black too, and green, right? So protection and grounding, and green for abundance. Yeah, be wary of people who are jealous too. There will be people who will see what you're doing and they'll get jealous because they chose to do the tried and true. Don't worry about them. That's irrelevant, okay? Yeah, tend to the small things. So that's another 4. That's 4 4s. By the way, that's 4 of them for 40. The mouse, tend to the small things. So yes, we're getting too engrossed in the wrong details. So again, if you're looking at algorithms, sales numbers, profit loss margin, that type of thing, that's the wrong thing. Like, it's important to be aware of those things, but that should not be the entirety of your driving force, right? Because if I was to follow the algorithm, I wouldn't be doing these readings. I would be, I don't know, I would be following the trendy audio and putting out like 10-second clips of some random thing that's just more brain rot, you know? Like, when we follow what we actually want to put out there, we are able to get more stability and security. You know what I mean? Because yes, sure, if I was to go forward, I'll just use myself as an example. If I was to go forward on here and I was to just do what every other TikToker's doing, right? I could grow quickly, I could gain a lot of followers, I could get a really nice paycheck, but I would lose it all just as fast. unless I continue to do the same brain rot, which would crush me internally. Like, brain rot's fine, but like that's not what I want to put out into the world. You know, I want something different. So even though this is slower, even though it's not giving me the same, it's not as fast, it's still worth it to me. You know what I mean? So instead of worrying about, oh, the profit margin, oh, the followers, oh, the scale, the sales, oh, the salary, right? Focus on the, like, how do you feel when you do this work? Please do not spam the chat. I'm not doing personal readings at this time. Yeah, time for beginner mind. So yeah, just going another 4 for 48. That's crazy. It's time to look at it a little different. Yeah, look at it a little bit different, okay? Focus on the, focus. We're hitting the obstacle. It feels like there's a slump. We feel like we need to jump ship. We may not need to jump ship. We just may need to remember why we got on the ship in the first place. Okay? Let's do last 2. 15-15 just popped up. 15-15. That equals out to 12 for the Hanged Man. That's funny. And 3 for the Empress. So a shift of perspective around the Empress. Interesting. Closing advice for my collective here. Thank you. The turtle spirit, slow and steady wins the race. Yeah. That transitionary period. Okay. It's okay if it takes some time. If you're having a good time doing it, sometimes it's going to take a little bit longer. I understand that we have to keep our lights on, we have to keep our bellies full, but if it's something you're truly passionate about, then when the audience finds you, when the people find you who enjoy your business, who enjoy your product, who enjoy you as a person, they'll be more willing to invest for a longer time. You feel me? Because they'll see the passion behind it. They'll see how much you enjoy doing it. And everybody is happier to support someone who genuinely enjoys what they're doing. I mean, think about it. Would you rather be operated on by a heart surgeon that really wants to go home in the next 5 minutes? Or do you want the heart surgeon that actually cares if your heart is in the right place? You know, like the person who actually cares about you as a person, who enjoys their job, who's actually there and is willing to put in that work instead of trying to cut corners because they don't actually want to be there. You know? Last 2. Closing advice for my collective case spirit. Thank you. And watch your words. Yeah, watch what you say about your own ideas too, and yourself. If you're constantly telling yourself that you can't do it, or that your dreams aren't worth anything, or that that's a dumb idea, or I'll never make it, what are you doing? You're telling your subconscious that you're not worthy of the things you're asking for, which is putting you in this continuous self-sabotage cycle. That's how our subconscious works. That continues to manifest more sucky things. Because we say, I can't do it. You know, I want this to happen, but I can't do it. You see how that's contradicting? Like, that doesn't make sense. Yeah. Last one. Closing advice for my collective case there. Thank you. Yeah, see the bigger picture. So yes, sometimes we don't get the results we're looking for immediately. And I know you guys are smart, and I know you know this, but again, pay attention. What is it giving back to you? If you've been there for a year and it hasn't done anything at all, if you haven't seen any progress at all, a comment, a sale, a raise, a promotion, anything, that's when you go. But if you see anything at all, stay. If it's something you truly love doing and you're showing up and being consistent, you need to see the big picture. You have to show up. In order to make it come to fruition, you have to show up consistently, constantly. You know? If you can't even show up for your own dreams, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Yeah. Alright, I said last one, but one more. Thank you, Spin. Yeah. Trust in the magic with the White Raven spirit. 6-6, balance, the lovers, hangman, perspective, empress. trust the magic. We don't believe in ourselves. We don't believe we can do it. Yes, you can. What you want wants you. If you have a dream, the dream wants you. Okay? Beautiful. So, I hope that this was helpful. That's all I have for you today. I hope that this was helpful. If you are interested in a personal, first and foremost, thank you for your time and energy, for trusting me to be your reader, for allowing me to have any of your time at all. If you are interested in a personal reading, I offer that at the link in my bio. Please feel free to check that out. I will also be uploading to Patreon soon. I'm thinking of doing fun things like what's going on for the Mercury retrograde, what you need to look out for, full moon readings, new moon readings, as well as I've been thinking about doing like month aheads as well. So just check that out. I'll be putting onto that. It's new, so bear with me. I'm learning as I go. Feel free to check that out, see if I vibe with you. And if you're watching this from the YouTube when I post it later, that link will be in the description box down below. If you don't vibe with me and I never see you again, well, I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Thank you as well for allowing me into your energy, for choosing me to be your reader for today. And I wish you so much love, luck, joy, abundance, healing, prosperity, and happiness on your path. If you have chosen to follow me and you do vibe with me, thank you so much. I'm so happy you're here, and I can't wait to see you. I wish you all the same, all of it, all the same. And yes, please remember that life is an ever crooked path and you are never off of it, okay? Okay. Slow down. Yes. Thank you again, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye.